never our response. We always have the capacity, especially as we develop greater and greater presence to our capacity, we can always choose how we're going to respond to whatever is happening out there.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, let's see how it feels in the body, right? So I want to invite, if you're able to pause with us right now or catch it on the replay, I want you to invite taking a stand. You could just sit where you're at, but I want you to hold your hands in front of you and just make some fists and tighten your fists, okay? And I'm just going to ask you some questions. As you do this, notice how you feel in your body. Just make a mental note. Notice what thoughts are coming up in your mind. How do you feel in your emotional body? What's happening with your breath? How open or closed do you feel? What would it be like to be like this all the time? Okay, now you can release your hands. And I want you to try the next pose then, which is just to slump over. Just kind of allow your head to hang down to your chest, slump your shoulders. And now, notice how you feel in your body. Notice how you're feeling your emotions. What kind of thoughts are you having? How does your breath feel right now? Are you open or closed? How energetic do you feel? How would it be to feel like this all the time? Okay, now you can release that pose. Anybody notice a difference?
Between the two or in general?
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you feel with the first one?
I didn't like that much because I was like trying to focus on keeping my hands clenched, but then
Yeah.
the little I breathed in, I couldn't do it anymore. They relaxed, but dropping my head down made me feel a lot better. Kayla had said she liked the analogies, but she sometimes feels like she's constantly in the lizard state. So I would say these techniques are perfect opportunities.
Yeah, so, well, those two examples I just gave you are kind of the contrast between, both of them can be activated by the lizard state. So the clenching is like the fight or flee response in the body. It's like, you know, we have to get all the energy of the body goes to your hands or your feet or to your arms or your legs so that you can either get ready to punch or run away, right? And it's tight, it's constricted, you're really focused, it's hard to see clearly, it's hard to breathe deeply, and the brain is just like clouded. This is a good question for each one of us. Am I more likely to move into fight or flee, or the releasing can feel good? Because you said that, Tina, like when at least releasing tension feels good, but it can also move you into withdraw and submit mode, which is the other response, which is just giving up and just hiding under the covers. I just want to close myself from life, right? I want to pull back from everything. So we've all probably experienced both of those, but you might have one response that's more common for you. But yeah, it is so common for a lot of us to have a low level of stress running through the body a lot of the time. And that it's sometimes how we manage life, right? Yeah. It's sometimes a coping mechanism to help us get through hard times. The challenge is that it really wears down the body because there are literally cortisol, stress hormones moving through the system when we are in those response modes, and that wears out our body. That causes us to age faster and get more tired and get depleted and overwhelmed and all of those things that limit our capacity to show up as the amazing creators that we are. And so here I want to give you the third response, which is the let's take charge.
I don't get very stressed that often. That must be why I look so young.
Yeah, well, you found ways, right? There are so many practices, and you take life very lightly. You exercise a lot. That's huge. Yes. You eat in ways that support you to be more balanced. There's lots of things that support us to be more present, and mindfulness is one of the many. But yeah. So I want to invite you to sit straight again, and we're going to just have a tall spine so that you are comfortable, but you're also alert. And we're just going to hold our hands out like this. in front of you. I'm holding them up to the camera. You don't have to hold them up that big, but just hold them out in front of you with your palms up and go ahead and just tune in. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes if you wish. You don't have to. And just notice what you notice now. What emotions are you feeling? What sensations in your body are you feeling? What thoughts are you thinking? Do you feel open or closed? How energetic do you feel? What would it be like to feel like this all the time? And let's go ahead and place our hands on our heart, one on top of another. Notice your breath. How is your breath flowing? Notice how it feels to have your hands on your skin, your hands on your body. Notice any shift in emotion. And then you can release. How did that feel, Tina?
I didn't really like the palms up. When I put my hands over my heart, that felt really good.
Interesting. What did you feel with the palms up?
Palms up, I felt like there was a lot of tension in my shoulders and in my forearms, and I did feel like this heavy weight coming down on them.
Okay.
Yeah. Andrea said the fists felt like fight, the slump, defeat, and the palms up, surrender.
Nice. Yeah, so ideally, with your palms open, maybe Tina and I kind of had them sort of stretched out, but you could hold them on your lap as well. But this is the more responsive choice as opposed to reactive, which were the other two. And the responsive choice is the more mindful choice, right? Where we're not avoiding what has been triggered, what challenge has come up, what impulse we have. We're not avoiding it, but we're responding to it. And we are embracing it. We're looking towards it. We might not feel good, right? Because sometimes when we're feeling the impulse for something, or we're missing something, or we're disturbed by something in our external world, it doesn't feel necessarily good. But if we can be open to it, if we can turn towards it, if we can be choosing our response, we're literally attending to it. And that makes all the difference. Just attending to it with openness. And then the hands on the heart, hopefully that felt good.
Yes.
Because this is like literally, befriending yourself, loving on yourself as you attend to things that are challenging or things that are uncomfortable. And this actually does activate the vagal nerve in your nervous system, which is the nerve that travels from the middle of your brain all the way through your system. It impacts every major organ, including your digestion, right? Yes, the gut. And bringing calm to the vagal nerve supports whole kingdom is being really brought back into balance, or has the potential to be brought back into balance. So this is a beautiful mindfulness choice.
I love that. And Kayla said that the palms up calmed her down, but it was tense in her hands. But then when she had put her hands over her heart, that felt a lot better. And this is something that I feel like, along with the tapping, because you tapped us out a few, last month, you tapping, and then
That's right. Well, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I really think of tapping as like first aid, If you feel the lizard waking up and it's starting to rear its head and the fridge door is opening, like, go for it. Just tap, tap, tap. Like, that's a beautiful first aid response to our emotional challenges. Mindfulness is like an everyday, moment to moment practice that you can be weaving into your daily experiences as much as possible. Like, literally, when you got to be a master of this, which none of us probably are, except for maybe Thich Nhat Hanh in those times, but can all be on the path to mastery. The closer we get to mastery, the more we're like, every moment is like this ritual of a presence. I'm not there. I don't think many of us are there, but wouldn't it be amazing if we were? And so, like, just even this opportunity right now to think about it, you might activate more mindfulness presence the next time you step into your kitchen. Maybe like stepping into the kitchen, just imagine the queen waking up and standing up tall with her robes on and feeling epic. Maybe just find little ways to activate that presence, that mindfulness presence throughout your days. It could be before you get out of bed.
I was going to say, right in bed, just lay there with your palms up and then your hands over your heart. And just sit there for a few minutes.
How do I want to feel today?
Yeah,
like set an intention. I want to feel joyful. I want to feel present. Choose 3 words. I want to feel free from...
Don't we all?
Yeah. free from all the stress.
This has been, I think I might be losing a little hair in the front, but this is probably the most stress I've ever felt in my life. And I don't generally like carry stress. It's not something that I subscribe to. This has been difficult times and not even thoroughly enjoyed my quarantine. It was more having to go back to work and not knowing what's going on with my daughter and not really having a set idea of when things are happening and when things are shifting.
Yeah.
And so I think just being able to take that in and breathe in the morning too, and being like, you know, it's okay, and thinking of my 3 strong words.
What you speak to is the up-leveling that we're all being invited to, and being able to deal with. So there's so much out of our control, but not our response. Never our response. We always have the capacity, especially as we develop greater and greater presence to our capacity, we can always choose how we're going to respond to whatever is happening out there.
Yeah.
We actually impact what's happening out there by our response, right? Because we emanate it into our engagements with our people, with our world. Our frequency, our energy actually ripples out to impact what's happening out there in positive ways. And so it's really a really powerful place to step into.
Well, what is one piece of advice that you could give to our amazing ladies here?
One of the most useful things that has helped me step into my own practice of mindfulness is to really know myself, to know the places where I'm most challenged, and to know the places where I'm most gifted. And that has helped me be able to target, you know, knowing where I'm most challenged helps me target my mindfulness. Like, I'm most challenged in areas of organization. And when I get overwhelmed, that's when I'm going to lean into the habits that aren't serving me the best, because that's when I'm going to be triggering that lizard, right? So if I can be more mindful in my organization, more present, that's going to help me. So I just created a free quiz, and it's one way that we can know ourselves. So it'll help you identify your elemental superpower.
Yes.
And knowing your superpower will help you know the places of challenge as well as your places of like where you're really gifted, and how we can all support each other, because we're all a little different in this area.
Where can we find you, and what are you doing now career-wise, in case any of my amazing parents want to come find you?
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. So my website is KarenMurphyCoaching.com. The quiz is actually there, but I can also share a direct link to the quiz. And I am working with families. I do have a parent course, which is all of my best goodness in one spot for how to bring in mindful parenting and emotional intelligence and connection-based parenting. I also work with people who are seeking to really bring that creatorship, that being fully responsible for their life and creating and designing their ideal family culture and life into how they create income and how they create in the world. They stepping into their dreams. I have a mastermind group that meets once a week that's happening freely. I freely offer that.
Think tank mama on all things parenting. There hasn't been one piece of advice that I haven't followed through on that didn't work. So
oh, beautiful. Way to go, mama. Yes, definitely check out our single mamas inner circle. I'm sure Tina has links for that too. For any single mamas in the group, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Let us know when you want to come back.
Yeah, I love this group. I love all that you're doing, Tina.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
I appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you.
And big love to everybody in the group and all the transformations you're activating.
Yes, even on the tough days or the days that you think you're not, you are.
Those are the breakthrough days, right?
Yes.
And it's hard to remember that in the moment, but it's so valuable.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Big love.